The best item in Mario Kart World might be one that you weren't expecting before. Most of Mario Kart World's items are brought back from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and you still have your go-tos like your bananas, shells, and mushrooms in order to dash through shortcuts, which are always going to be very important. And of course, your back-of-the-pack items like stars, lightning, and even bullet bills in order to blast forward. But you also have a couple returning from Mario Kart Tour like the Ice Flower and the Hammer, and even some new ones like a gold shell that lays out coins behind it, and also Kamek that transforms all the drivers into a specific enemy and spawns that type of enemy all over the track. But there's one special item returning from Mario Kart 8, and it actually wasn't able to be used in the basic races. Instead, you could only use this item in the battle mode in order to take out balloons, and that is the Super Feather. The Super Feather is way more important than anyone has been talking about so far, and a lot of people are kind of sleeping on this thing. And let me tell you right now why this item is going to be potentially the best item in the entire game. But real quick, we are on our goal to 400,000 subscribers, and we are very close to 360,000, so make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. It helps out a lot. Let's see how many people we can get in just one video. Thank you guys, and let's talk about this feather. So the feather in Mario Kart World allows you to hop up into the air, and you might say, okay, it's just a jump, who cares? But something as small as a jump in this game is going to be massive. Now, we already know you can do a basic hop, which barely gets you off the ground, but this hop might be pretty crucial as it allows you to get a little bit of a speed boost and even jump over smaller obstacles and even jump off the course into other things like grind rails and even onto walls. So this is going to be a very important feature, but that's why the feather is so important, because the feather is the regular hop, but it allows you to go so much higher and have so much more potential off the path. Now what's awesome about the feather is this is an item that you can get very high up in the pack. I'm talking like the top 3 places. I've seen lots of gameplay where a lot of the times you're going to get this item in first place, which is very, very important because for one, you can use it to dodge things, and not just oncoming traffic or other enemies or obstacles on the road, but literal things coming from behind you. You can literally use this item to jump over an oncoming red shell, which is massively important. Now, I have seen lots of demo gameplay and gameplay from the treehouse of them trying to use the feather in order to dodge a blue shell, and from everything I've seen so far, this is not possible. I've seen different timings from beginning of the shell coming in to the end of the explosion, just like the mushroom you can do with a shock dodge, but it does absolutely nothing, so I don't think you can dodge a blue shell with this. The blue shell is programmed to hit the player, not the ground. So you'll still need a super horn or a well-timed mushroom in order to avoid those. Now, what's massive about this giant jump is you can also perform multiple tricks in the air, which gives you a lot more speed boost once you hit the ground. So maybe you could still dodge a blue shell based on the boost you get when you land, but I can see that timing being absolutely insane, but I don't think that's going to be the case either. But from all the gameplay that I've seen so far, it looks like you do have to commit to a trick in order to get an additional speed boost when you land, because if you don't, all it is a big hop and then you'll land on the ground with no additional speed boost added to it. So if this really is all the feather does, then why is this so important? Well, I feel like a game that's so open world like Mario Kart World, this is going to allow you to do so much and interact with so many things. And especially in first place, you no longer have a boring drive. You can actually use these feathers in order to get yourself even further away from the pack and hit even more tricks, such as this one from the treehouse. This is probably one of the best examples, how there's no possible way to reach this railing if you don't have a feather. I mean, look, it's just a ramp that goes straight onto this bend around the corner, and you would absolutely need a feather item in order to hit this. And this is not just a normal shortcut. Look at how quickly Mario passes like the 3 to 4 racers that are just in front of him. This is a very tight rail turn that takes you into the inside path and lets you blow past all the racers in front of you. And I'm sure if it's just on Peach Stadium that we see this, it's going to be on every single track. And from the demo gameplay we've seen so far, I see a lot of tracks that looks like it offers a lot of areas like this. Take this section from Wario Stadium that has a giant left side wall that you could ride all the way around if you got up there. But maybe you could just use the ramps or your own personal jump to get up there, but still, I mean, I feel like a feather would make it a lot easier. Toad's Factory has a special section at the end that looks like it's just made for this item, where when you jump off the ramp, you can see 2 giant cranes, each holding a giant beam. So my thought is that you could probably reach the one on the left by a simple jump off the ramp, but the right one, you probably won't be able to reach that one unless you have a feather. feather. Here's an official picture of Toad's factory where you can see both beams and both cranes, and I'm sorry, but the space between them looks way too far for it to be a simple jump from one to the other. You will most likely need a feather to reach that second one, which is going to be a lot of meta thrown at you, because you're going to have to grind on the first rail, use your feather to jump and perfectly hit the second rail in order to continue moving forward, which just sounds so much fun to me. Sometimes it's not even about just reaching an area, you can simply use the feather like a mushroom in order to get through shortcuts now. If there's just a grass shortcut that you need to get past to in order to reach a ramp or something, you could just jump over it. Like this section where you bust through the boxes with a mushroom, you could just jump over the boxes with your feather in order to reach this guardrail and take this shortcut to the right. Check out this path where there's a giant sidewall that you can ride behind the statue of Lakitu, but clearly you're definitely going to need some type of feather in order to reach that section. Just look at this entire segment from start to end. There's like a million different paths that you could take, and that feather is definitely going to help you out. If you miss one path and want to jump onto a guardrail at the last second, you can just simply use the feather in order to jump on over to a section that you probably missed. Once again, these are just instances of shortcuts on the basic tracks. Imagine you're going through one of the tracks where there's just a little shortcut that you can hit over a snow mound or over a little hill of grass that you can just hop over. Take this gameplay from Nintendo Life. It's not the best, but you see the verdict here. You see what I'm trying to say? Especially with something like Mario Circuit 3 that has tons of little shortcuts through the sand in between blocks and pipes, you can easily use this feather in order to jump over pipes, skip whole sections of the track, especially with this being an open world Mario Kart game. Now, of course, you don't want to use it in that situation and just fall down into a part where you can't drive, but you get my gist. But take this section from Whistle Stop Summit from the Treehouse gameplay. Now, the Nintendo Treehouse player that shows this off uses it in an absolutely horrible way, throwing themselves up on the side of the wall all ugly like, but if you were to keep it, look at the top of the train. It has a ramp towards the front, and you probably can only reach this if you use a feather at the right time to drive on the top of the train, which is super cool. And I'm just talking about races right now, but let's talk about free roam, because I feel like this feather is going to be one of the best and most important items in the entire game. In this quick clip of the free roam, you can see this vending machine that's shooting out items for Bowser to pick up. Like he just picks up a star, and you can also see it shoot out a banana. So I am sure that some areas will have dedicated spawns of vending machines that only shoot out a specific item that you need for that area. For instance, this feather is going to be useful in getting almost everywhere. You can just look around and see so many cliffs and areas for you to get up on with your cart. And of course, with this game being open world, I mean, having a jump in a Mario Kart game in an open world is going to be very, very important. So I feel like a super feather is going to be used at almost all times just to get up to certain P-switches or panels that you need to unlock. So yes, that is why I think that the super feather is going to be one of the best, if not the best, items in the game. Not only for giving you an additional boost as you land, but also allowing you to skip parts of the track, to hit shortcuts easier, and to even find new paths on these new Mario Kart World mechanics that allow you to grind rail and jump off the walls. This feather is going to be a vital item to not only do that, but to dodge items as well, such as red shells that are being tossed at you from behind. And as an item that you could even get in first place, this is going to have a lot of value and usage for people that are really good at Mario Kart, and I can't wait to see what top tier players are able to do with this thing. But let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with me. Do you think the super feather is going to be as good as I'm saying, or do you think it's going to be an average item? Let me know what you think down below and how excited you are to use this for yourself. And like always, make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and have a blessed day, everybody. See ya.